In this video, we're doing an FBA Roadmap student interview with my guy Josh, who's actually hit over $40,000 in sales just his third month selling on Amazon Online Arbitrage. So if you're interested in how he got started, his story, how he's able to find success quick, make sure you stick around for the entire video as well. Want to let you guys know tomorrow we will be raising the price of the FBA Roadmap by $50 as well as adding a ton of new content. So if you're interested in a weekly Zoom call, private Discord, 12 plus hours of content, a bunch of exclusive software discounts, as well as a whole lot more, and a full money back guarantee, check the link in the description before the price goes up by $50 tomorrow. Let's get it.
Josh, thanks for joining me, man.
Hey, Miles, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I've seen you on Twitter. I've seen you in the Roadmap Discord doing some good stuff. I want to get on here, chop it up with the people basically, and help them find success quickly as well. But just before we get into it, you want to give us a little bit of background on yourself, and then we'll transition into the Amazon side of things?
Sure. So, I had been interested in selling on Amazon for quite a while, and it really wasn't until I stumbled across some of your and Warner's content that I realized how scalable something like online arbitrage could be. And so this year I decided to take action, and one of the first steps I took was actually purchasing the FBA Roadmap course. And for me, that did two things really. One, it really helped to compress my learning curve. And then two, it gave me access to a network of sellers that were invested in themselves. And so after that, I really focused on trying to source product. And for me, getting that first like $1,000 in sales, it was such a grind. Like I was hitting up Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Walmart clearance aisles, Target clearance aisles, just trying to scrap together enough product for my first shipment. And so, now we've been selling for, I think this is my third calendar month we're about to wrap up. And as of yesterday, we just crossed 40,000 in a trailing 30-day period. So it's just incredible to see the growth, and I can't wait to see what it looks like a year from now.
Sure. And I figure that's probably in the range of like 4 to 8K profit, right around there, depending kind of whether it's more RA or OA focused.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now we're operating pretty close to about a 15% net margin. So, there definitely have been some buys that didn't go exactly as I anticipated, but that's just a part of the learning experience. And I'm just trying to take those lessons as they come.
Sure, of course. I like the point you said about it being hard to just get the ball rolling. Completely agree, as it should be, right? That's why everyone doesn't do it. That's why everyone doesn't succeed, basically. So right now, what does your operation look like? Because I know it's part-time. So is it a lot of RA focused, OA focused? Are you doing prep? How does that look?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I think on my first couple of shipments, it really was a lot more focused on retail arbitrage. And then I slowly started to mix in a little bit more online arbitrage to where now that's primarily mostly what I'm doing. I still love hitting up the Nike outlets every now and again, just because it's kind of fun walking out with 30 pairs of sneakers. But definitely it takes a lot of time on the retail side. So I find that I'm a lot more efficient whenever I'm doing online arbitrage. And as of today, I'm doing all the prep myself. I'm doing all of the basically repricing, and then also there's no VAs. So, I just actually signed a services agreement with a company out here in Houston to do a lot of my prep. So I have a kickoff call with them on Tuesday, and that's really for a lot of the stuff that's more tax exempt. So I'd love to get another prep center and sales tax free state for some of my online arbitrage stuff in the future. And, maybe at some point bring on a VA.
Sure. I think that makes a lot of sense too, just because clearly you have a lot of upside and continue to compound the skill of product research, which is probably what kind of the big thing that's clicked over the past month or so. Basically, so I think that makes a lot of sense. I also, just for the audience, something that's been working well for a lot of my guys recently has been sharing VAs with other sellers, whether that be like on the admin side, on the product research side. So consider doing that as well, both for you, Josh, and just people watching it that are looking to offload. Even if it just, 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, you can get that back for really, really cheap with, super talented, affordable overseas help, basically. On that, so talk to me about what clicked from a product research perspective. Is it a certain website had a good sale? Is it you learned about a few new coupons? Kind of what's been your secret sauce with that?
I really think it comes down to narrowing your focus. Whenever I was first starting out, it was a little overwhelming because there's just so many products out there, and you only have so much time. So really what helped for me was focusing on a couple of brands. And I'll say one brand that I started out with was Nike. I got ungated in Nike, and so I took a lot of focus on trying to find websites that were selling that brand, and then trying to stack coupons where I could for that particular brand. And so I think like narrowing my focus a little bit to one brand whenever I was starting out really helped me. And then over time, as I've done more reverse sourcing and just gotten better at it, I've branched out into other brands and other categories. But that certainly helped me a lot, was just narrowing my focus initially.
Yeah, I like the big brands too because they have thousands of SKUs, right? Some tens of thousands of SKUs. So you only got to ungate once. Big brands are carried on a wide variety of retailers, so there's a better probability curve in terms of being able to find sites that are bulk friendly, being able to coupon stack on different sites, getting around order cancel on different sites, and then two, finding different products at different buy costs at different times, and that doesn't exist in smaller brands that may only be carried on one or two retailers or the brand's websites specifically. So it's Memorial Day weekend right now. So there's a lot of good manual sourcing opportunities. Have you been mainly doing like product finder, manual, reverse sourcing? Where's your focus been in terms of actual strategy, product research wise?
Yeah, so I think initially I kind of had the shotgun approach where, I was using all different kinds of tools, and really now what I focused on is trying to find those websites that I have a lot of luck sourcing from, and then just doing a lot of manual sourcing. That seems to be something that has been pretty effective for me. That paired with reverse sourcing are probably the two biggest things. But yeah, for sales, definitely manual sourcing has been probably the best way for me to find profitable products.
Sure, and especially that can be really powerful if you find either couponing opportunities or coupon opportunities that stack. When we get off the stream or like the recording, I'm going to give you a really good one of a site that you can buy bulk of that you can coupon stack on as well.
Oh,
From
nice.
and everything. So that'll be a really good thing. And then what do you think is the key to the next level? Is it delegation? Is it the tax-free prep center? Like, how do you think, in 3 months you can be in a much better situation? What are the actions you're going to have to do now to do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. And right now I'm trying to get ready for back to school because I feel like that's going to be a lot of momentum for the business and just a great opportunity to scale. And so getting that prep center down definitely is a priority. It's at a point now where it's just taking up so much time, that I really need to buy that time back. The VA I think would be great over time, but I just don't know that I'm there yet. And the repricing is also just going to be something that's going to be a tool that I can use to buy back some of my time pretty quickly. So in terms of the next step, I'd say the prep center for me is probably going to be the biggest lever that I really need to pull.
Sure. And you're manually repricing still?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't have. Yeah, I
That's
know.
very gangster. Interesting.
Yeah,
Think you should set Be Cool up today because you have the extended discount with the roadmap stuff. So, dude, you really do got to do that. Like, and then you're gonna tweet at me tomorrow, like, yo, like that shit made a big difference. Like, trust me, you gotta do that
for,
for sure.
for sure, for sure.
And there's like a lot of like conditional stuff you can do with it as well. And then how does it look in terms of time allocation? Because that's a big thing. A lot of people watching this are worried about. Like, and you've been able to do some pretty good stuff pretty quick. Is that
Mhm.
a challenge? Is it something that's come natural to you? Like, what are we doing there?
In terms of the time that I'm allocating, breaking it down, I mean, at first it was really sourcing, and I mean, I have to be transparent. It's difficult whenever you're starting out finding those opportunities, and especially it's more difficult finding the good opportunities. There was definitely some sales that I purchased in the beginning, with cosmetics and stuff where everybody saw the same sale, and so the prices tanked pretty quickly. And I think it's just whenever you learn something like that again, take that lesson with you onto the next purchasing decision. But at first it was a lot of sourcing, and then now prep has slowly kind of climbed into taking a decent bit of my time away, and so that's something that I really do need to outsource. And in a month from now, what I'm really hoping is that most of my time is just kind of dedicated to sourcing new product and then just trying to improve processes, because that's also something that I need to work on, just in terms of inventory tracking, order tracking, and making sure that I have everything ready, all my documentation, all my supporting materials, in case I ever need to submit that. So
Sweet. Yeah, I like that. It's important. The thing about the documentation for anyone watching, from day one, you should keep a Google sheet that has all your order numbers and corresponding ASINs so that if you ever get an inauthentic complaint, which it's fine, it's very easy to get around, you can just search in that spreadsheet, the ASIN, then you're going to get spit out all those corresponding order numbers, which you're going to download and send to Amazon. Basically, on the point you made on time, I like that because a really difficult thing, if we call it that, when you're a beginner in business, is that the reason you haven't had success is because you haven't done one thing for an extended period of time, right? But the problem is you can't see that that's the key because you haven't done it prior, and you just got to like get through that initial learning curve. And then it was the exact same way for me, dude. Like once you get it down, it's a simple, repeatable process to see that explosive growth, basically. And it's you got to get to that point and everything. But it's a really good thing. And I know you're doing some good stuff on Twitter. You've been pretty consistent with it, specifically the last month I've seen. What kind of inspired you to do that? How's that been so far? Because it's a really good thing that basically no one does, but those of us that do are rewarded really nicely.
Yeah, so the two catalysts really to the growth of my business, one, we're joining the FBA Roadmap, getting access to the community of sellers, but then two is networking with other sellers. And networking with other sellers is something that I was really hesitant to do at first, right? For a variety of different reasons.
So many reasons, yeah.
Yeah, a variety of different reasons. But you know what? That's had probably the biggest impact on my business over anything else. Not only in terms of like lead sharing, but also gaining a lot of knowledge from more experienced sellers and talking through problems. So, I'm constantly on with, I know you interviewed Tom and Thomas, those guys are rock stars, right? And so I'm constantly in touch with them, constantly in touch with some of the other guys on, Discord and everything. And that's been really great. And, Twitter specifically, it's important for me. I'd love to document the progress I'm making kind of from the start or as close to the start as I can. And it's just going to be something really great to look back on. So, I'm doing it for more of a journaling reason, but as well as networking with other sellers. Both of them are pretty powerful.
Sure. Yeah, it's like such a beautiful positive sum game because someone's got to sell these products, and I'd much rather like go at it with my squad basically rather than go at it on your own, because it's like the kind of thing, and I've used this example a few times, but like imagine like there's a test when you were in school or whatever, and like the teacher said you could cheat on it, right? You're allowed to work. It's like who's going to get a better grade? The people who work with their friends on it, right? The people who cheat on stuff, and it's a beautiful example. We can do that with the stuff, and a lot of you guys watching still don't. And that doesn't make any sense to me. And you really
you're making such a huge mistake if you're not doing that.
Yes. Like I would even go as far as to say, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. It's significantly more work to not network
Absolutely.
and to not be on Discord and to not be on social media than it is to be.
Yeah. And I mean, I think if you allocate a percentage of your time to that, the return on that time is going to be incredible. So anyone not doing that, yeah, definitely missing out.
Yeah, bro. And once you get the ball rolling, it just becomes a part of like what you do. And that like if you're living an interesting life, and in this case selling on Amazon, you're gonna have a lot to talk about. Right? Because there's a lot of people that are behind you, even if you're on month one. There's a lot of people who haven't taken action yet. So it's an important thing. Okay, if we can go back 3 months, get you where you are today in a third the time, half the time, what's the game plan knowing what you know now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably would have spent less time doing retail arbitrage, in all honesty. I definitely value the experience that I had there. And if somebody's hesitant or if they're maybe just wanting to test the waters, then sure, that could be a great approach. But if you're pretty committed, I definitely would recommend focusing most of the time on learning sourcing, specifically Keepa, using SellerAmp, and just trying to focus on finding profitable products. And then from there, yeah, reach out, start expanding your network on day one, start documenting what you're doing from day one. And then just networking with other sellers, reach out and then ask for help whenever you need it.
That's what's up. That makes perfect sense. And people can follow you on Twitter at BuyBoxBoss right there.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. That's what's up. You got a nice little setup there too. I'd said off camera. Absolutely. So everyone go follow Josh. Make sure you take a look at what he's doing. It's cool if you're watching this and this was a few months ago. You'll get to see his current progress and such. And yeah, man, thanks for coming on. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. Yep. Thanks to everyone watching as well. See you guys in the next one.